summer 2017, the load of tests, again, each of them in their own right, it seemed okay. I had travelled to my sister's wedding in August, which was great. And I guess I was a bit apprehensive. Actually, I wasn't apprehensive at all. I had another, I just thought I was in a good place. I thought things were stable, we're good. There were no significant alarms for any of the individual tests. And I think we're in a good place. It was then on the 21st of September, though, that I had my next follow-up appointment with Dr. Sekri, my specialist at Barts. And I remember it was my brother's birthday. He's a doctor. And we'll talk also about who came to different appointments, why and when. But he came with me on this day. He wanted to come, and I remember it well because it was his birthday as well. Yeah, I just remember sitting down and the doctor kind of just going through, right, so this test, how are you feeling? Okay, fine. And again, curveball, which I'm still, I guess, adjusting to it, was she said, whilst the individual tests, each in their own right were, they seemed okay, actually the combined, well, I guess she didn't say that. That's my memory projecting onto that, hoping she would say that. In reality, I didn't really have a debrief after each of those tests, but I didn't have any significant information. It was kind of, you've done the test, fine. The right heart catheter, the doctor said, yeah, this is it. There was no real recognition for it's really good or really bad. It was just kind of a neutral thing. But I guess my optimism going into this meeting on the 21st with my younger brother, as opposed to with a parent or anyone else, is just like kind of, and I remember saying to my dad, no, don't worry about coming to this one. This isn't going to be a significant one. It's just going to be, it's fine. And I go in and she goes, based on all of this, I'd like to refer you to Papworth. And I go, okay, well, what's the referral for? And she's like, so you might need a heart transplant. And even saying it aloud, every time I say it aloud, especially when I'm feeling so well, like today, again, 5 years on from diagnosis, I feel okay. I feel, I got up this morning, I can walk, I can breathe, I can do this interview, I've lots of things to look forward to, and it just doesn't feel very real. But in that moment, she goes, okay, and so, I said, explain it more. She's like, look, the adding up these pieces of the puzzle, there is a concern about your heart failure and how progressed it is. And based on all of this, it would be our recommendation to go and have be referred to Papworth. Papworth are based in Cambridge. They're one of the oldest hospitals in the UK that did transplants, and they do about a fifth of all transplants in the UK. And I'll talk more specifically about Papworth shortly, but that was something to adjust to. And you asked me the question earlier about time and fast and slow and urgent and not. And this was like, heavy. This was like, how am I meant to process and deal with this? And I was then right, okay, so when's the referral going to be? And then I found out the referral is going to be in January. So it's like it's September. And then you're like finding out you've got, you might need a heart transplant, but no, it's fine, we'll see you in January. And how am I meant to live? What am I meant to do? This like anxiety. And, at the time, ran a startup. What's interesting, I guess a bit of background about my work. When I was 22 and graduated, I set up a company called Student Beans, and I was running it day to day with my brother, and I was there for 10 years. And then I left day to day to create another company called Causr. It was like a location-based LinkedIn. It's kind of like a dating app, but for business connections. My vision was to connect people all around the world every day through random kind of serendipity, but using technology to help do that. So if there was someone nearby in your same industry, or who went to your university, or had similar passion or connection, then you'd be able to see that and then connect with them. And I'd raised money from 4 angel investors, and I was on this, journey to try and create this business. And we'd had, good few thousand users. Richard Branson had talked about us online. It was really cool. And we'd, done some really great things with it. And then when I first got diagnosed, I, remember saying to my investors, that this has happened, but I'm okay, and 1 in 500 people have got it, not to worry, I'm carrying on working, but I just want to keep you posted, let you know. And, you know, that 21st of September, then I'm like, okay, and each stage I think I look back and it was like committed, and I wanted to do it. And interesting about, from a heart perspective, it's a very heart-based business in the sense of, you know, trust, like people are good people and like wanting to help people like connect. And there was something, you know, I think about my condition and who I am as a person, and everything that I try and do is like bringing a lot of heart into this, which is also why, you know, the theme of Heart Matters, living with intention, and how I guess this series kind of comes really together. And I remembered I'd won a ticket, so I pitched at an event and I'd won a ticket to an event called the Lean Startup in San Francisco with Eric Ries, and it was so exciting. And I remember saying to the doctor, look, okay, heart transplant, January assessment, which again feels like forever away, and like I want to carry on living, and can I go and do this? I've won this ticket to San Francisco and I want to go and meet potential investors, and can I do this? And I remember her kind of questioning, and look, she, to her credit, you know, do you have insurance? Can you, you know, if you feel okay, you know, the biggest risk is being on an airplane, but everyone's got that risk, you know. You can't do anything, you can't do it, you know, but if you can and you feel like you can and you want to, then who am I to stop you? And so to her credit, got on the plane and went to San Francisco, and that was an amazing experience and trip, which again, I'll talk more about business and work later, but that's kind of what happened then. It was a really important thing for me to carry on living and travel, and my doctor knows this now. She always knows if I'm going to ask her something, I'm going to do it anyway. So she was like, you're not really asking me, are you? You're just kind of informing me. I go, yeah. And I've got better and better at how I communicate that with. Thanks for watching. To find out more about the charities that help support those with heart conditions, their families and loved ones, please have a look at the British Heart Foundation, Cardiomyopathy UK, and Save 9 Lives. Feel free to comment on the video and subscribe.